Welcome to this month's episode of Drinks with Darren, where the drinks are cold, the weather outside is gorgeous, and the real estate market is confusing. Why is it confusing? Not so long ago, you were seeing news reports about the market, and what was going on was absolutely crazy. And now the news reports are starting to report that they're not sure what's going on. So what is going on? Going back to last month's video, we had mentioned that the stats are always about a month behind what the reality is. And now the reality of a changing market is starting to show more and more. I thought it would be a great time to show all of you what I as a realtor know and get to see in what the market conditions related to what is really going on in a busy market look like, and the trends that I get to see firsthand when the market really takes off like it did just recently a few months ago, or also back in 2015 to 2016. But this time around, we're fortunate to have lived in this world back in the 2016 market, right before the foreign buyers tax was introduced. This 2021 market has been not significantly different, other than the fact that it perhaps moved a little quicker, escalating in price faster than it seemed to in 2016. With that being said, here are the 5 stages of a crazy busy market. How it starts, how it peaks, and how it ends. The first one is increasing market activity, where offers have conditions. This is generally where we will recognize that listings are starting to sell a little bit quicker. They come to the market and we have a lot of showings in a short period of time. Now, these offers, they still have conditions on them, and pricing still matters quite a bit. So the general overview is that buyers, well, they have to make decisions relatively quickly or they will miss out on a particular home. Once we get over to condition or stage number 2, we're starting to see multiple offers on properties with few or no conditions. This is when the market is starting to ramp up. Buyers are recognizing that they have to compete in order to get or secure the seller's attention, and therefore get an accepted offer on the property that they like. This means they're really going to have to work to get the seller's attention with an offer price that might be above what the seller was requesting originally, or perhaps they make the seller's life a little easier by knocking off some of the typical conditions a buyer might put onto their offer, exhausting some of or all of their due diligence. Once the market progresses a little further into the third stage, we find ourselves a lot of the times at the very peak of the crazy market. This is where we get so many offers on properties, and typically they have no conditions. Now, buyers are fearful of what prices might look like in periods even as short as 1 to 2 weeks from then, due to home prices escalating so quickly. And truthfully, they are often wise to think this way because the prices do move very fast in this stage of the market. We have seen this just recently in the last few months in our market. The winning offer often is much higher, and much often significantly higher than the asking price. This is a market where sellers are holding off on showings, only allowing them during short periods of time, mainly due to the incredible burden of selling a home in a market like this, where everybody wants to come in to have a peek at their home. This is also where we start to see a little bit of the seller's game being played, where a seller might choose to list a property with an asking price that is sometimes slightly, or more commonly, significantly below what they actually believe the property to be worth. This, of course, makes it very difficult for a buyer who ends up in a multiple offer situation to know what they might need to bid to win the home. Buyers need to seriously consider the risks involved with making an offer that does not have any conditions on it. However, that may be the only way in this market a seller will even consider their offer. Now, the good news is this stage does not usually last forever. As we get out of a market condition number 3, we start to find ourselves in market condition or stage number 4. This is where good homes are still selling and we see multiple offers, but the price really needs to wow the seller. The seller's expectations in stage 4 versus stage 3 are different. Those sellers hear stories about homes in their neighborhood going for significantly over asking price, but they fail to realize that the market conditions have changed. Sometimes they still may list a property below what they think it's really worth, only to come to find themselves in a situation where they haven't been able to attract the attention of buyers, or they haven't been able to attract the offers they thought they might have in stage 3. This is always interesting because this is where we start to see the market shifting into a more balanced type state. You will see homes that are doing a short window of showings, perhaps over a weekend, and looking at offers early into the following week. Should the offers that come in, even sometimes when they are over or above the asking price of the home, fail to meet the seller's expectations, you will see that the house gets relisted within the first week or so for a higher price, with a price more in line of what the seller's expectations actually are. So this naturally starts to build inventory into the market, which only helps drive the market into a more balanced state. The last stage of a very active market is stage 5, where we start to see the conditions come back onto the offers again. A seller may be lucky enough to end up into a multiple offer situation, but buyers just simply aren't willing to take the risk on going condition free in writing offers without conditions. Why, you may ask? The buyers realize that more homes are now available to go look at, and this particular home that they may be writing on is likely not the only game in town anymore. There's other homes to go view. Typically, when we've reached stage 5, this takes us out of the very active and busy market. Interesting stuff, right? And shout out to my wonderful real estate coach at Richard Robbins International, Dana Richard, for documenting this concept. Makes a lot of sense, right? Can you guess what market condition we are in right now? I bet you can. We're probably in stage 4, stage 5 in my estimation. Now, it's important to note that these conditions are all relevant in terms of how an active market builds and begins and also goes away. However, it does not necessarily reflect that the prices have gone down or will go down. That is another phenomenon entirely, and one that is almost the opposite of exactly what we have been describing in this video earlier. What it does reflect is that the craziness of the multiple offers without conditions may be gone. So you may not be seeing homes sell for astronomical prices above the original listing price. And very commonly, you start to see sellers recognize this as well, and therefore begin pricing their homes at a much more reflective number in relation to what the market value of that home might be. Again, market condition number 5 does not necessarily mean the value has gone down, but just the conditions have changed. Now, let's get into the stats. Getting into apartments in the last 3 months, we've seen apartments grow at a rate of about 8.6%, and in the last year, up 9.9% in the Fraser Valley. Carrying us over into townhomes, in the last 3 months, we've seen townhomes increase 12.34%, and in the last year, over 18%. And of course, coming in at top spot, once again, we've got detached homes with a growth of 16.89 in the last 3 months and 30.34 in the last year. We are going to switch these up next month as well. I think it will bring more value to you, the viewer, to see the changes over the last month rather than over the last 3, as well as the last 6 months rather than last year. This will better help you understand and see the current trends in the market with better clarity, as the numbers have been moving monthly so quickly for the last few months. This will give you a better idea of what's actually happening. Thank you for watching this month's episode of Drinks with Darren. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the great mothers out there, and thank you for all of you who contributed to our business and continue to contribute to our business, therefore allowing us to contribute on behalf of all the wonderful mothers out there in our lives to the BC Lower Mainland Big Sisters. Have a great month, and we will look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching.